welcome back to Simple Pharma Basics. This is Aarti. Friends, as I have mentioned already in the title, today's video will be about if anyone wants to go to Canada and if they want to pursue their masters or PhD there. So what are those things that one must consider before moving to Canada? I am going to discuss all those things with our today's guest throughout the video. So make sure that you will watch the video till the end. Our today's guest is Mr. Harshit Jadhav sir. He have done his MS in natural product from Naipur, Ahmedabad. Later on, he continued his PhD from there only. He spent his 3 years of PhD in Naipur, Ahmedabad, where he have completed his GRF and 1 year of SRF. And later on, he joined the Institute of IGMPI, where he did a post-graduation diploma in regulatory affairs. And after that, he went to Canada. He first pursued one diploma course there by name, one diploma course in web and interactive advertising from St. Clair College, Canada, and later on he continued for his PhD from that college only. So yeah, we are going to ask him various questions that you guys keep on asking me throughout the period. So yeah, I am going to ask him all the question, and he have answered all the questions very nicely. And this whole video is going to be an eye opener video and a very informative session. So I request you to please watch the video till the end. Do not skip any part if you are seriously planning to go abroad. And yeah, one more thing is that if you are new to my channel and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, so please subscribe to Simple Pharma Basics and do like this video if you like it, and please share the videos so that you can help me in spreading the awareness. As you guys can see that I am bringing people from lot of different streams in pharma field to share their knowledge and to have the wide perspective of them on our channel. So yeah, you can help me in sharing awareness about our field by just sharing this video clip with your friends. So yeah, with this let us welcome our guest, and with this let us start our main video.
Yes, hello sir, and welcome to my channel, and thanks a lot that you have managed some time from your busy schedule to come on my channel and guide the student. Thanks a lot for that.
It's not a busy schedule, actually it's a night here around 11:28, so from
Okay,
busy night.
Sir, can you just tell us about yourself, like some details, like from where you did your bachelor's, from where you did your master's, and what else you did in India, and after that, when you went to Canada?
So that's a lot of thing, in the one question. So I did my bachelor's from Ahmedabad, basically from GTU. The college was at the Institute of Pharmacy in 2009 to 2013. I did my bachelor's over there. Then I cleared the NIPER and I went to NIPER Ahmedabad in Department of Natural Products from 2013 to 2015. Then I cleared again NIPER. I got Air India 1 at the time in PhD category.
Okay.
And then I choose again, because I was so familiar with all my mentor and everything. So I choose to do PhD in natural products only. So I got there. I did 2.5 years over there. I got my GRF and I started working on my projects. But somehow, due to some situations, I think it's not a good idea to continue to do PhD. So I stopped that and I started working as a professor in medical college in Gandhinagar, where I was teaching basically a pharmacology to the students. So from 2017 to 2019, I was professor at the college, and in 2019 I came to Canada, and till then I'm here.
Okay. Sir, why you thought of going Canada only and not any other country?
It doesn't matter, as long as in whatever amount of money you have in your bank balance, whatever country you can go. Doesn't matter the Canada. For the reason behind the Canada is one of the easiest pathway to go. You don't have to think about the visa and all those things, because they are giving visas to everybody, especially students. So the Canada is one of the easiest country to get visa. So nowadays also most of students go to Canada only for that purpose. And here also things are good, compared to India. When you come here, you started realizing so many things, and you start comparing things. Most important, money is better here compared to India.
Hmm.
You have to come multiply 60, whatever you do. So one Canadian dollar is around 60 rupees. So in that terms also people come here. So that was my main goal, to get more money. That's all.
Okay, sir. So there was no any specific reason to choose Canada.
Yeah, money was the only reason, my friend.
Okay. Sir, what do you think that what are the advantages of studying abroad and what are the advantages of studying in India? Like advantages of both the thing and disadvantages of both the things.
See, I cannot tell any disadvantage of studying in India, because we are born and brought up in India, so we cannot tell that.
Sure.
So yeah, but there are so many advantages to study in abroad, because there are lots of so many new things going on in each and every university, each and every college, that most of our Indian colleges doesn't have. Even IITs and NIPERS doesn't have those kind of technologies and all those things this abroad college have. Another thing, you will get more speculation, you get more variety of researchers also, because people from around the world come to here to study. So you get to know their perspective, their part of problem, their part of religion, culture, and everything. So once you go out of your country, it's not just a country. Even if you are from a small village, from any of the city, and from that small village you go to city, a big city, there also you see a wide range of variation and changes in the lifestyle. Same thing happens here, but in this phase there is a sudden and a lot of changes you will see, in your life as well as when you try to adapt the new culture. At that time also you get to see lots of changes. So it's always good, when you have lots of changes and challenges to face, so at end result will be good.
Okay. So we can say that exposure will be good if we opt for going abroad.
Definitely, because what happens, same thing happened with me. I did masters in NIPER and I chose to do PhD in NIPER as well. So
Mhm.
my area was very limited. My scope
Yeah.
was very limited. I need to play in that 10 by 10 field only. But when you
Mhm.
go, your horizon will be wider. You
Extended,
start,
right?
yeah, you start thinking about more different things.
Yeah.
If we are in India, any field, if you are doing PhD in pharmacology or analysis or anything, we mostly stick to that part,
Hmm.
pharmacology, in our PhD in thesis only. Yeah, we do some here and there things. We do analysis, you do some natural product synthesis or medicinal chemistry thing, in vivo, in vitro, but your major focus will be on what point you are doing your PhD. But when you
Mhm.
come out of the country, that perception will be totally changed. There is no restriction that you need to do this only. You can do anything you want, until and unless your proposal is right and useful
Hmm.
to the society. You can do anything.
Okay. Sir, I want to know that, and what are the documents that will be required if one wants to go abroad to study, and what kind of qualification they will need if they want to go for masters or for PhD?
For documents, you don't need any documents until and unless, only thing I think you need is your transcript from whatever college you are. So that college administration will easily give you. If you are from NIPER, they will charge you a chunk load of money to give you the transcript. But other colleges, you will get it easily, because for me, NIPER charged me around 2,500 rupees, for that piece of paper. And that transcript from my bachelor's I got only for 50 rupees. So that is the difference between NIPER and other things. But yeah, that I think that's the only thing you need. And yes, you need a
Sir,
good
what
age.
is transcript?
So transcript is a official doc. Basically, it's kind of official result that you are getting,
Hmm.
from your college. So whatever result you have, you always upload its photocopy to your application, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
But those college people don't trust that, whatever you're uploading, so they want transcript. So that paper should directly grow from your college. So what your college will do, they will take the address of whatever university you are applying. They're gonna prepare your result on the letter pad, whatever college you are. If you are from NIPER, they're gonna prepare your result on your NIPER letter pad. The registrar gonna sign it, the director gonna sign it, and they send that piece of paper to that particular college, and that the thing called the transcript. So I think transcript is the only thing you need to apply from any college, and a good agent if you're going abroad. Choosing
Okay.
an agent is also a very important thing, because most of the
Mhm.
people get fooled by the people. They're going to ask some money and they never get visa,
Yes.
especially in
Uh,
Punjab.
okay, sir. Sir, I want to ask that what will be the qualification required if one wants to apply for masters or PhD? Like in some cases, they want the equivalent bachelor's degree or equivalent master's degree. So, what do they mean by that?
So here, whether in Canada or US, equivalency is the most important thing. If you are applying for masters, you need, if you are applying for Canada, okay. So if you are applying for masters, so for that you need Canadian bachelor's equivalence degree. It means whatever the bachelor students from Canada have the qualification, same qualification you should have. So how you will prove that? So there is one agency which is known as WES, which is called as World Education Services. So
Okay.
what these services will do? So in this you have to make your account. Then you have to
Mhm.
fill out a big long form. You have to upload your all your mark sheet and everything. So they're gonna assess all your result, and they're gonna send you a report whether your whatever qualification are equivalent to their bachelor's or not. So most of the
Okay.
time our college education are equivalent to here. So it's okay, but you need to get that form. Most of the colleges in India are covered under this society, so it's okay, but you need to have this form, World Education Service. So they're gonna give
Mhm.
you the equivalency report. So yeah, if you are applying from masters, you need to have bachelor's degree, and if you apply from PhD, you should have master's degree. It's the same as India.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure. Sir, can you tell me that, how you went there, what exams you took, and later on, are you getting any kind of scholarship or fellowship for your PhD, and how you
So,
applied for it?
so I did not come here to do PhD. First of all,
Okay.
I came here on a student visa. So I took 1 year course, okay, of the business management. So for that course, I came to Canada. So in Canada, what happens? Whatever amount you study, the same amount you will get work permit. So if my course duration is 1 year, so for 1 year you will get your study work permit. So you can live 2 years in Canada. If you are doing a master's, so that master's program is for 2 years. So that 2 years, another 2 years you will get work permit. So in that case you can live in Canada for 4 years. So I came here for a 1 year course. So at that time I knew I only can live in Canada for 2 years. So in those 2 years, you need to start, making your file for your PR. Okay.
Hmm.
So from India, you cannot, easily get PR. The most important thing is you need to have Canadian work experience. That is the basic thing, which is the most important to get PR.
Hmm.
So after I completed my study, I got a job here in the hospital as a pharmacy technician, because here for the pharmacist you need to clear another exams. There are set of exam here which is known as PEBC exams. There are 4 exams. You need to clear all 4 exams, then you get the license for the pharmacist. So before that, you need to work at any hospital or any pharmacy as a pharmacy technician. So fortunately, I got pharmacy technician job in a hospital. So I worked there. I got my 1 year certificate from the hospital, and I applied for my PR, and I got my PR based on that 1 year work. And then I
Hmm.
started doing PhD. So doing PhD in here was not my main goal. My main goal was to come here, get PR, get more money, and then to do PhD.
Okay. Sir, can you tell me that, what was your approach to reach up to universities or to professors? And have you gave any exam like IELTS or a TOEFL?
Okay, so if you want to go to US, you need to give two exams. One is GRE and one is TOEFL. But if you want
Yes,
to go to Canada, you need to give only one exam, which is IELTS. Okay,
yes.
there is another exam also called CELPIP, but most people prefer IELTS because it's easiest exam, because
Mm.
CELPIP is more, it's not difficult, but it comes in a 7 different stages. So most people prefer IELTS exam. So that's the only thing you need. You need IELTS examination, and you need a good agent. That's all. For Canada, you can apply for yourself, but there are so many minute things you need to take care when you are filing your visa form. Because
Mm.
in this kind of country, what they will do if you make any mistake, you know so they people thought you are doing it deliberately. So in some cases people get banned from this country also while making those kind of forms. So it's always better to choose a good agent who can help
Mm.
you in each and every process.
Okay, sir, can you just suggest any name of agent which you took, like which you had?
There are millions of agents in India. There are millions of agents. Every state you will go, you will see study in Canada, get PR in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go to any agent, because I am basically from Ahmedabad, so I choose my city's agent. Whatever city you are,
Okay.
you must have agent in your city, no matter what.
Okay, sir. Sir, can you tell me about like financial support? What financial support you got there, and what kind of scholarship you got there, and was it sufficient for you to survive there?
So there is no financial support or scholarship I got here. So when you go to Canada to do masters, basically, or after 12, you won't get any scholarship. First of all, remember this. If you are
Mm-hmm.
going to US, you might get some scholarship, but if you're going to Canada, 99% you won't get any scholarship. You need to have bank balance, to come here. At least you need to pay 1 year fees. Then while you come here, after, you can get part-time job and you can get some money and you can pay your fees, but you need to pay first year fees when you are in India. So there, I don't think there is any scholarship that Canada is giving to any students, even if you
Okay,
are
and
doing
so for
PhD.
PhD.
See, Canada is the not country to do PhD. There
Okay.
are not any research, going on in Canada, especially in field of health. If you
Mm-hmm.
really want to do PhD in your area, see, we are basically from pharmaceutical field. So the best country I suggest is USA or Germany. So this is two countries that people should approach.
Mm-hmm.
In Canada, I don't think any colleges are there. They are accepting applications for the PhD. I am also doing PhD on a non-pharmaceutical subject, so that's why I'm doing it. But yeah, if you are engineer, there is a
Mm.
lots of scope to do PhD here. Lots and lots and lots of scope, but not for our
Okay.
people.
Sir, can you just describe in brief about your PhD topic? Like in what subject you are doing PhD?
Basically, I'm doing on statistical analysis.
Okay.
So my study is basically on COVID,
Mm-hmm.
and all the
COVID. Okay.
statistical and statistical analysis
Mm.
in entire Canada region. So that is
Okay.
a not a pharmacy field. It is a mathematical field.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm doing it
Uh,
just to say to do PhD. That's all.
okay. Sir, in Canada, what are the different kind of job roles that will be available if one want to go there, especially for a pharmacy student? And what kind of scope they will get if they want to come to Canada?
See, if you are a pharmacy student or if you are any student, okay, for any field, even if you are a doctor in India, there is no way you can get a job here as a doctor or as a pharmacist. Okay, you need to start from zero. If you are a doctor, if you're a pharmacist, you need to clear set of exam, which was
Mm.
given by the government, until you can start practicing that profession. Before that, you need to work as a normal people. You need to work at McD, you need to work at Subway, you need to work at railway station. So that's a normal thing. Yeah, if you're a pharmacist and really you wanted to work as a pharmacist here, so there is an exam called PEBC examination. It
Mm.
comes as 4 stages. It's gonna
Mm.
take around 1.5 year to finish that complete examination. So after that, you can practice pharmacy in Canada, but before that, you cannot. You have to do whatever job you are getting.
Mhm.
Even if you are a doctor, there is no way you can get, doctor job as soon as you come to Canada. You have to start from zero.
Yes, so that means we have to match to their norms, like whatever the requirements
Yeah,
and qualifications they need.
yeah.
We
So
have to match it.
you need to pass set certain levels of examination before you start working. And our
Mhm.
health system and Indian health system, I am saying our because I got my PR, so I am now Canadian. So our health
Mhm.
system and Indian health system are completely different. So there is no way. In India, we can go to a medical store and get a medicine within 30 seconds. Here, you
Mhm.
cannot. Until and unless you have a piece of paper from the doctor, you cannot get the medicine. And even if you have a prescription from the doctor, you need to give at least 30 to 40 minutes to a pharmacy to
Mhm.
prepare your medicine and give it to you. So it's very very different situation and very different procedure here because
Mhm.
what can in India you go to any civil hospital, all the medications are free, right?
Yeah.
Your health is free, but here it is not. Here medication is only free for people who are under 25
Mhm.
and above 65. So between
Okay.
25 to 65 there is nothing free, you have to pay.
Okay.
So it's very different situation here and everything is costly. People in India always dream that we will go to Canada, we will make more money, we will buy Tesla, we will buy this there's palana tikana. It's nothing like that. It's very difficult here. As we are talking, outside temperature is minus 22. So you imagine how one can go there.
It's
Yeah,
very
and
cold.
people, yeah, in minus 22 people are also working at the petrol pump, people are also delivering in Uber and Zomato. So it's very difficult here. This is I am basically in Windsor, Ontario right now. If you go to other places like British Columbia or Vancouver or Edmonton, right now their current temperature is minus 50. So you can imagine how cold it is.
Oh my God.
Minus 50. Okay.
Oh,
And that minus
so,
50 will last for at least 4 to 5 months. Not one day, not 2 day. So can nothing is easy, my whenever you go, even if you go to US or Germany, nothing is easy. Everything takes its toll. Yeah.
mhm.
If you work, you will get money. That is for sure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So
Not
life
like
is
India.
not at all easy.
Not at all easy, my friend. Not at all. First 5 years, it is very difficult here. In India, you can go get any government job. You can go there. You can sit, relax. It's nothing like that here. You work here, you get paid. You don't work, you get fired.
Okay, that means laws must be very strict.
Yeah, that's why people are in discipline because laws are strict.
Okay. Sir, can you just tell me that what are the different kind of master's, PhD or diploma courses will be available for a pharmacy student if they want to go to Canada?
Master students for the pharmacy are not here because in Canada
Mhm.
nobody does the masters in pharmacy. Okay, I
Okay.
told you PhD, but nobody does the masters in pharm because there is no. In India we have M Pharm or MS
Mm.
Pharm.
Yes.
Here there is nothing like that. Here it's only one course is there, pharmacy technician, and a PharmD. That's all. Only three courses are there,
Mhm.
and that courses you can get only after 12. You
Mm.
cannot get this admission in this course after graduation or after master's. So if you want to pursue any of these courses, either pharmacist or pharmacy technician or PharmD, you need to come here after 12.
Okay. Sir, what is the duration for pharmacist course?
Everything is for 4 years.
All the job roles like pharmacy technician and pharmacy, sir?
Yeah, PharmD is 4 years plus 2 years internship, but the basic is
Okay.
4 year. So
Okay.
PharmD total it will take 6 years, but the pharmacist and
Mhm.
technician those are for 4 years.
Okay. And sir, what is the scope after pharmacy in Canada?
Scope is the same. If you did the PharmD, you can get job in pharmaceutical company as a head or in the manufacturing department, or you can get a job in a college, where you can
Mm.
teach this pharmacy or pharmacy technician students.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, overall pay is good for all these people, but yeah, it's very difficult to get admission.
Okay. Sir, if someone manages to do their bachelor from Canada, like in case of pharmacist or pharmacy, then they have to give that exam like
No, no,
CEBC
no,
exam or
no, 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 no.
okay.
Because you are
They
getting the
can.
education, you can
Huh.
getting education from here, so you don't need to give. Exam is only for those people who are graduated outside of Canada. Yeah,
Okay.
we are giving English exam. That's why only, because our English and their English is totally different. So we are matching their equivalency.
Okay. Sir, can you tell something about this exam? Like what kind of syllabus it has? Like in case of IELTS or GRE, they mostly have aptitude and English. So what kind of exam it will be?
Which kind of exam?
Sir, PEBC that you have
So
mentioned.
PEBC exam is basically, a broader version of combined GPAT and NIPER. Whatever exam you're giving in GPAT or NIPER, those things will come. Apart from that, all the Canadian laws and regulation will come. And most important, in India, we all gave GPAT and NIPER examination. We never had any case studies, but in this exam, you will get case studies. So those case studies are a major part of the examination. They're gonna ask you a question like this: Falana Dikana people came to your pharmacy store. They are feeling this. They are taking this 10 number of medicine. So what do you think is the best role, and all those kind of question. So in this kind of question, people always struggle because you never had this kind of training.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, then what about PhD? Like, what will be the kind of average duration for PhD in Canada?
I told you there is no PhD in Canada for the pharmacy student.
Yes, sir. PhD.
There are hardly 2-3 colleges who does PhD in pharmacy field, but they won't take any outsider.
Okay. But in case, just like you are doing some in statistic, or if someone decides to do PhD in allied branches to pharmacy,
Yeah.
so
So it
what
depends
will be the duration?
whether you are doing a full time or part time.
Okay.
So if you are doing for a full time, it's gonna take around 3.5 years as a max. But if you're doing a part time, depends upon your schedule. So it's around 4 or 5. It depends still how much time you
Okay.
can give to your PhD. Yeah, you can do PhD in other branches here, anytime, anywhere, even from your home. But in pharmacy, I don't think there are lots of college who does the bachelor's and master, but there is none for the PhD.
Okay.
Canada is not for the PhD in the pharmacy.
Okay. Sir, there are some kind of diploma courses available, for example, for clinical research, pharmacovigilance, or like project management. This kind of courses will be available in Canada. So, what do you think about those courses? Will you suggest student to pursue those courses from Canada?
Why do you wanna do diploma courses first of all? Why?
So the student, if there is any student, those who want to have a
But
PR,
why?
but
But why?
sir, for because this diploma courses will be of short duration, and they can get a PR based on this.
See,
So
the study won't give you any PR. Remember this in Canada. Whether you study diploma, degree, master, PhD, it won't give you any PR. What will give you PR? The Canadian work experience.
okay.
Even if you think you want to do diploma in any other regulatory field, why? What is the need? Are you looking for a job in that particular field? Because nothing is cheap here. If you want to do a diploma course, the fees is $20,000. If you convert into Indian currency, it's going to be 13 lakh rupees. So why do you waste 13 lakh rupees for nothing?
Okay, and we won't gain any kind of funding or scholarship for that.
Yeah, if you're getting it for free, do it. But if you need to use your money, why? So
Right. Sir, can you just tell about how was your experience till now in Canada, and about your journey, and what kind of work-life balance is there in Canada as compared to India?
so there is no work-life balance. So there is no balance at all. Okay, I spent my 2 years here alone. My wife and my son was in Ahmedabad. I came here alone. I spent 2 years here alone. So there is no way you can have life and work balance in the starting years. You need to wake up. You need to go your job. You come home and you sleep. That's the only thing you will have in Canada, because everything is costly here. Everything takes a toll. So in starting year, where your salary, your average hourly wage is low, you don't get many hours here. This COVID come and lots of people lost the job. So it's very difficult. In what happened, there are lots of students in my city, something. So in COVID, what happened? There are lots of students who came and they were doing part-time jobs. When you came to Canada as a student, you can do only part-time job. You cannot do full-time job. So part-time job means every week you can do 24 hours only.
Hmm.
Okay. So people do that part-time job, and from that money they're gonna pay the next year's fee. Right.
Mhm.
So this COVID came in, all shop and everything was closed. So they lost all their jobs. So they don't have any money to survive here. So they went back to India, because staying here and doing nothing is not the, answer to anything. So yeah, if you come to Canada, be prepared, mentally and physically, that you need to do very, 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 very hard work. Then only you will get paid. It's not like India anymore. You also
Okay.
need to, also need to adapt the, environment here. Here on Canada, specifically on North American region, there is no ozone layer on the stratosphere. We know that, we have in India, we have ozone layer. It blocks the UV rays to coming to the atmosphere. In Canada and America, there is no ozone layer. So in summer, even if you have 30-degree here, you get burn on your skin. It's that much high. So weather is extreme in both direction. Now we have minus 30. In summer we have plus 30, which feels like 60. So you need to adapt to, all those situation here. So it's difficult, but as soon as you come here, you start learning things, you adapt yourself, you start discipline, you make discipline in your life, and then it gets easy. You start making money, and you understand things, how this basically Canadian system works. So it's good.
Okay. Sir, then how your life is going on right now in Canada?
Right now it's okay, it's good. I have my full-time job, I have my home, I have my car. What else you need?
Okay.
I can come home to eat anytime. Basically, currently I'm working, as a vaccination clinic right now. So right now I'm doing two jobs now. One I'm doing in a hospital, and other job is I'm working as a in vaccination clinic. So yeah, you have to work. You have to work hard. Saturday, Sunday you'll get off. You get fun. But yeah, you have to work hard, and slowly, you start saving your money, and you need to plan your future, and everything will be good. Only thing you need to understand is you have to come to Canada no matter what, and start learning, start saving things, do as much as work you can here. Whatever work you do, it's going to help you in your PR. As soon as you'll get PR, there is nothing you can do right now.
Okay. Sir, can you just tell us that how you got your PhD? Like from where you did your diploma? Did you continued in the same university for your PhD?
Yeah, same thing, because I knew my mentor over there. The teacher was very friendly. We used to go to restaurant every Saturday, Sunday. So at that time we were talking, and he told me, I'm looking for one client, to do some of my work, and I'm gonna give, and we also gonna thinking to start PhD course. So I told him, I also wanted to do my PhD. So he told me, okay, come. So that's how I got my PhD. So there is no application, all those kind of things. So that's the thing you need to do here. You need to come here, you need to make contacts, and that's how you got. Otherwise you're gonna do thousands of applications from India. Nobody gonna read your emails, even if your resume is very good. You need to communicate, you need to make friends, and that's how you're gonna go further.
Sir, what do you think that does the scenario is same for USA, Australia, Germany as compared to Canada in terms of like getting this PhD?
So USA has a big market for Indian PhD students.
Yeah.
So whatever Indian students want to do PhD, 70% people go to US only. Hardly people go to Australia, and rest people go to Germany, because those are two major countries to do PhD, because lots of research going on there. In USA, there are various ways you can get your PhD. If some of your colleagues who is working in the same college or institute, they can refer you for some position, and they can pass your resume to the mentor or professor over there. Otherwise you need to go to college's website, you need to find the PhD role, and you go there, apply online, and all those things. I don't think nobody's gonna read that email, until unless we have some referrals. Nobody gonna read your emails.
Okay.
Because we are not also reading the emails from the other people. So
okay, so you might know the scenario very well.
Yeah.
Okay, sir, can you just enlist different countries, like as you have said now that USA will be good option to do PhD. So can you just give a short comparison between USA, Australia, Germany, and Canada?
Comparison of what?
Sir, for getting PhD, then quality of education, and like especially for pharmaceutical students, and work-life balance and
Only,
everything.
only two options: USA and Germany.
Okay.
Getting admission in USA is easy compared to Germany. Work-life balance is good in Germany compared to US.
Okay.
If
And
you, if you,
sir,
yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
If you want a happy life,
Hmm.
you go to Germany. You want more money, you go to US.
Okay.
So
Sir, in case of stipend.
it's quality and quantity. If you want quality life, you go to Germany. If you
Hmm.
want quantifiable life, you need more car, more home, more money, you go to USA.
Okay. Sir, in case of stipend, scholarship, or fundings, which will be better, USA or Germany?
Both the countries will give you the same amount of stipend, plus or minus, 1,000, 2,000, but almost same amount. If you are getting a scholarship and stipend, both the countries are the same for the stipend. Nobody give you more.
Okay. Sir, what do you think, like, how much money one should have if they are planning to go abroad for their studies?
Even if you are getting,
Initially, like,
even if you are getting a full scholarship for your PhD,
hmm,
so you don't have to pay anything to college. Still, you
hmm,
need at least minimum 5 to 6 lakh rupees, at least, if you planning to go to abroad. You know why?
hmm,
Because you need to hire an agent for your visa.
yeah.
You need to do lots of medical examination.
Hmm,
You need to file a plane ticket.
hmm,
It's gonna cost you around 1 lakh rupees, no matter where you are going. You need to eat. They are giving free education, they are not giving free food, and food in both countries is very costly. Yeah, you can get one burger from $2, but that is 100 rupees. If you're going to USA, it's 140 rupees. So we
yeah.
we can eat 20 rupees ka vada pav, we cannot eat 140 rupees ka burger, right? So you need to start calculating that thing. Then wherever you are going, you need to look for your rent, where you will stay, whether you will stay in hostel or you're going to share house with some other people. That thing also going to cost you huge amount. At least the rent will be at least $400 to $500, or if you go to Germany, 400 to 500 euro. So you start calculating that amount. Because where I am, when I came to Canada, I used to pay $400 monthly rent, where I used to live in a house in a shared system. So in one room we have two people. The
Hmm,
house has three rooms, so we are seven people living in the same house. So it depends, what kind of life you want in your initial state. That amount of money you have to pay. If you want personal room, it will be much higher. If you want shared room, it will be little less. But at least monthly, if you're going to US, because I went to US, if you want to do a PhD in US, even if your scholarship is covered and everything, monthly you
hmm,
need at least $500 to $600 to survive.
okay. Hmm,
And from the you won't get job from the very first day, right?
hmm. Right, right, sir.
So you need to prepare for at least 2 to 3 months. That
Hmm,
money you should have. So those money
okay.
plus all the expenses from India, so you need
Hmm,
to have that money, and then you can plan. But if you're going to US or Germany, all the banks will give you loan for nothing.
hmm,
So you can
right.
have financial support from them.
Okay. Uh,
HDFC is now a good option. Most people prefer HDFC bank, because
hmm,
for
hmm,
this
hmm.
countries they will easily give you a loan.
Okay. Sir, do you know about any other organization or kind of scholarship that we get if we want to study abroad?
It's still, there are lots of scholarship
Hmm,
and funding available in both the countries. There are lots of research scientists under his name. They're gonna start the funding. They are hired 2 PhDs
hmm,
and 3 postdoc, all those things. So for that you need to look for the college website and all those things. Because I personally don't want to do PhD in US, so I never went to that direction.
hmm.
But there are lots of scholarship available, lots and lots of. Most of people who goes to US, they're doing PhD for free only, or they are paying 1 or 2 years free, that's all. You can hire a good agent for this as well.
Mhm.
If you have a good agent, everything will be free, everything will be covered. If you have a bad agent, you need to pay for everything.
Mhm. Yes, sir, definitely. Sir, are there any tips that you want to give to the students who are planning to do PhD or their masters abroad? Like what preparation they have to do from their initial days, kind of like articles or research reviews, publications, and all those things?
Yeah, so if you want to do PhD abroad, you at least have to have minimum 4 to 5 publication under your name as a first author. Then somebody will read your resume.
Hmm.
So here there is a method. As soon as you get the resume, they immediately go to the publication page. Though nobody reads your name or whatever qualification or whatever awards you have. Even if you are a gold medalist, nobody care for that. How many publication you have under your name, or second author, first author. So at least you should have 4 or 5 publication at least. Then you can plan. Otherwise, I don't think there is any way nobody will hire.
Sir, do they need publications in very good journals or
Doesn't
like
matter.
moderate journals? They just
As,
need
as,
publications.
as long as it's not an Indian journal, it's good.
Okay.
As long as they are not an Indian journal, it's good.
Okay. Sir, any other tips you want to give to the students who are planning?
So if you're planning for abroad, just go to abroad. Don't even think about it. Don't even think about what you're gonna do there, how you're gonna survive. I need lots of money and all those things. Don't even think. Just go out of your house, start preparing for abroad, and just go. As soon as you go, you're gonna start realizing things. You have more ways to go. You have more paths to discover. You initially, then you get the job, and money will come, and everything will be okay. So don't think about it. Just do it. Even if you are planning for a new job, or PhD or masters, whatever. I came here on very different perspective. There was no PhD or master kind of thing. I came here just for the money.
Yes.
People go for education, some people go for lifestyle. It depends on what purpose you are going. It doesn't matter. You need to go there.
Okay.
Then you will get it. You can't get it
Exactly.
while thinking at your home, sleeping and doing WhatsApp and chatting. I want to go to Canada, can I go? You need to get up from your bed and you need to go it. Nothing comes to you.
Exactly, sir.
Yeah,
We can have we have to take real experience to explore that thing.
yeah, yeah,
Otherwise, we
yeah.
won't be able to do that.
Yeah, everybody wants to, I want to travel. I want to, discover. I see, Instagram stories of people, and I'm to travel India, but they are not yet. They're just chatting. You need to go. You need to take a train. You need to
Yeah.
do in a local class. Second class or third class, wherever you need to go, and you need to experience things. While chatting and talking, nothing's gonna be happening.
Yes, sir, definitely. So, thanks a lot, sir. These were my questions that I wanted to ask you, and these were the most commonly asked questions. So, thanks a lot for your time that you are sacrificing your sleep for my video.
Yeah,
So,
it's okay. It's fine as long as
yeah,
it's helping somebody. Then it's fine.
definitely, sir. It will be helpful because this kind of videos, especially in case of a pharma field, are very rare.
Yeah,
There
yeah,
will
yeah.
be, yeah,
That is true.
very rare videos will be there. Yeah. So,
Because
thanks a lot again.
nobody loves pharma. Don't worry.
Sir, people will love it in the coming years. Definitely.
I was saying the same thing 5 years, 6 years ago. It's the same thing here, and it will be the same thing after 6 years. But we can do whatever we can do. We cannot change people, and we cannot change pharma. Yeah, but we can try.
Sure, sir.
Yeah,
Sir, the reason might be that students may not know that much kind of opportunities that they have. But once they will explore, they may love, they might start
yeah. The,
loving.
the the main reason, now, due to this internet and social media, people start getting more information from all around the world.
Yes.
When I was doing my masters and PhD, there was nothing like this. YouTube videos or all kind of things.
Hmm.
So now they have more ways to get information. Now
Yes.
as soon as you get the information, you start working on it. So it's okay.
Yes, sir. Because sir, nowadays many kind of allied branches are coming across our eyes because we are able to see what other branches are there allied to pharma. So that one may find their interest. For example,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
someone is interested in computer and technology, they may go to pharmacoinformatics. Other than that, pharma like statistics, pharmacoeconomics. These are the allied branches one can
okay,
get.
okay. Then let me ask you one more question. If you are doing PhD in pharmacoinformatics, okay,
Yeah.
in India, where you will get job?
Sir, there are some companies and they are hiring specially for informatics.
How many people?
Sir, process is going on. They
Yeah.
can hire.
Yeah, they can hire, but you know that proportion and that ratio is very small.
Yes, sir. Sir, the situation will be same for any field. May it be engineering, may it be any other field. They will hire only and only those have some kind of skills, right? So we
Listen,
have to develop.
listen to one thing, very real life example I'm giving you. If they want somebody to learn technology, okay, why
Mhm.
they want somebody from the pharmacy?
So because like in case of pharmacoinformatics, we need to have the knowledge of molecules also, right? So for the drug molecules and everything, other computer field students won't have that knowledge.
But
So they need.
if a person has PhD in computer science, it doesn't need anybody. They can figure out everything by themselves. They don't need pharmacy knowledge, you know, that this is the molecule, this is ion dipole. When they are studying this thing, those, you know, chapters and those things automatically covered. So, you know, when we are doing this kind of allied courses in India, you know, there are very less opportunities. That's why you
So
think
I'm
people.
not talking
No,
about
no.
only India. I'm talking globally.
Yeah. So that's why people are going abroad. Have you ever thought about that?
So to get the better kind of education, better quality of education,
See,
all these
education.
things, like
See,
better facilities.
whatever education we get in, you know, NIPER is good enough to survive,
Yeah, it was good.
right?
Yeah.
It
Yes.
compared to other colleges, whatever education we got. But do you think it gonna give you a more amount of money that you can live luxurious life?
Maybe not. So that is why people are going abroad to get money and quality life.
Yeah. So even if you are doing, you know, PhD in this, even if you do, suppose my wife has a PhD in pharmacology, how much do you think she can get in India?
So maybe
She
less.
was working in a pharmacovigilance department, you know, as a head
Hmm.
in Lambda Therapeutics. She was
Hmm.
head of pharmacology. She was heading that department. How much do you think she can get, and how much do you think she will get in 10 years if was she in India in the same department? How much the
No
growth?
idea.
How much the growth?
No idea, sir. And
So
I
so
cannot
so
compare.
yeah. So
Mhm.
you know that the thing is when you do the PhD, you know, so now you are at the highest level of qualification,
Right.
and at that highest level of qualification you get one kind of, you know, job role, whether you are a deputy manager. So if you are PhD, you are leading something, right? Whether you are leading a research or whether you are leading the department.
Hmm.
So at from that point where you can go, they will
Kind
make you
of
this.
manager.
They, okay, you are from deputy manager, they will make you manager, okay, for 2 to 3
Hmm.
years. From manager, where you will go, they will make you CEO. They will
Maybe.
make you what maybe they want to make you CEO, they're going to make you manage, you know, owner. So
No.
the major thing, you know, what is lacking in India when you have PhD, because that's what I face, and that's what most of my PhD colleague are facing right now.
Hmm.
Even my seniors from India, Ahmedabad and Hyderabad. Once you have PhD, doesn't
Hmm.
matter from NIPER or anywhere from India, you have PhD, they will put you in some company at some role.
Hmm.
Okay, you need to spend 3 or 4 or 5 years at that particular role. After that, they will give you some promotion, whether manager or deputy manager. For that position, another you have to, you know, stay there for 4 or 5 years. Nowadays, who will stay in one company for 10 years? Who will stay? So after getting
Rare.
PhD, yeah, after getting PhD, your job horizon is becoming very small,
Hmm.
especially in India. If you have a graduation, they will put you in manufacture unit, you know, doing something packaging. They will give you, you know, 10,000 or 20,000 salary, suppose, in packaging unit. If you spend 2 years, they're gonna put you some higher role. They're gonna increase your money. So from
Hmm.
graduate level, they can go up to very, you know, manager level. From PhD, they're gonna put you on deputy manager, and they're gonna go to manager level. But there is a line that beyond that you cannot go,
Hmm.
right? Every organization has that limit. Before that, there is nothing now. So now what you will do?
We have to switch the company in order to have good salary hike.
So you will do the lifetime testing only, switching things.
So then what is your opinion? Like what one should do?
So this is one of the reason. This is not the basic reason. One of the reason I left, PhD in India, because at that time, in my batch, at that, I joined PhD in 2015 in Naipur, Ahmedabad. So we were 9 students. So after 9 students, 4 people left the PhD. Why? Why? We are getting 35,000 per month. Okay, after that, as soon as you finish your PhD, what do you think the starting salary?
No idea, sir.
Less than whatever you are getting as a stipend.
Okay. 25
That's
to
the
30%.
that's the real life example. So what is the purpose of doing PhD? So
Means
these are the most common things that people don't prefer to do PhD here.
in India.
Yeah, because basically Indian companies are they don't give money to people. Where abroad they give money. No matter what your company is doing, you are entitled to get raise, so you will get raise no matter what.
Okay, sir, what do you think that apart from this situation that you have mentioned right now for India, what is the situation for PhD students, like who have done the PhD in industry in abroad? How's their scope and like all this rise and
See, even if even here, even if you do PhD here, you will have some college or any companies. Yeah, your role at some point you won't get higher role from that point, but yes, you'll get much higher amount as your salary.
Okay, means
Because
okay.
money will be good compared to India. Job level will be fixed. They can't make you CEO of the company. Okay, so manager is the last level. Yeah, chief advising officer is the last level. Suppose they won't make you CEO, they won't make you owner. Okay, they won't give you shares. Yeah, but as soon as you reach that level, they're gonna start increasing the money level, the comfort level, and everything. They're gonna start paying equity also. So that things bring people here.
Okay, so the designation won't be rise. They won't raise our designation, but they will raise our
And
salary.
see, we also need to understand one thing. Our designation won't reach at certain won't reach above the certain point. That's the limit for designation. Yeah, but the money and other thing will continuously grow no matter what.
Okay, sir, got it.
Right, so this is
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
this is very important thing. Most of people doesn't know. Everybody thinks I'm gonna do PhD and they're gonna start paying me 1 lakh every month. That's not true, my friend. I won't take name. One of my colleague did medicinal chemistry from Naipur, Hyderabad. It is one of the premier institute for the medicinal chemistry. The medicinal chemistry is best over there. Right now he is in Ahmedabad in private college working as a teacher. Yeah, so that is the situation. That is the real situation. Nobody gives you this kind of example. Everybody say good things, but this is other part you also need to understand. We are in pharma, so its coin is always two side. So this is the second side that you need to see before you do anything.
Okay, sir. So you strongly suggest if anyone is thinking to go abroad, they must go for it. They must act upon it.
If you want to do PhD, then my
definitely
advice is not to do in India. You can do masters in India. You don't need to go abroad for the masters. But if you want to have a good job and everything, better prospect, one must go towards different country other than India. Some people think I'm gonna do PhD in India and then I'm gonna go for a postdoc in somewhere. That postdoc thing won't give you any job abroad. It's gonna give you just an experience. How many people do you know that went to abroad for the postdoc and now staying in abroad? There are very few, very limited people. For postdoc, you will get only experience. Yeah, and for 1 or 2 years, you will get money. That's all. You need to come back to India because your visa status will act accordingly. So here you need to see that thing also when you go to abroad. So how long visa you will get?
Okay, sir. And if one plans to do PhD, then how time limit will be there in their
So for
visa?
PhD, there is no time. They will give you visa for 5 years, so you are good for that.
Mm,
And in
yes.
within 5 years, you will get everything, whatever you need to stay, there for
Mm,
lifetime. I also get visa for Canada for 2 years.
mm,
Okay, now I have PR. So that's what I'm saying. You need to go there. If you are
mm,
there, you can do anything. Nobody will
mm,
come there and tell you go on plane and go back to your country. No, there are so many ways you can stay, but for
okay.
that you need to go there.
Mm,
Right? जुगाड़ सब जगह चलता है ना.
yes, sir.
तो we are Indian, so we need to do जुगाड़, right? No matter here or
Yeah.
there. अगर हम
Yes.
नहीं जुगाड़
Okay.
करेंगे तो कौन करेगा? Right?
Right, sir. Right.
Yeah.
Nice. Yes, so that's all about today's session, sir. Thanks a lot for giving your time. And we hope that students will ask more and more questions, and I will revert it back to you if students will ask. So yeah, dear viewers, if you have any kind of questions, you can always ask me in the comment section below. I will revert it to sir, and sir will give the answers, and I will comment it in the comment section. And also one more thing is that Harshit sir has his own channel by life. Sir, can you just tell your channel name once?
See, I don't post, very frequently, just like this lady. I post, once a month, my life, my struggle in Canada. Yeah. So my name is
Yeah.
Harshit. So the channel's name is Harshit only. But yeah, you can contact me on Instagram anytime. I'm 24
Yes.
by 7 available on Instagram,
Mhm.
not WhatsApp, Instagram.
Okay, sir, I will post your Instagram and your channel link in the description so that student
Sure.
can know you betterly. Yeah,
Sure,
so
sure,
you can
sure.
contact sir there also. Sir can answer your questions there also. So yeah, thanks for watching this video and thanks a lot, sir, for giving your time.
Thanks for inviting me to your, bigger show. Maybe your show will become, Comedy Nights with Kapil Sharma. So I can say I went to Aarti's show one day. Okay.
Okay,
And all
thank
the
you, sir.
best to
Thank,
you and your show.
thank you, sir. Thanks for your wishes. And so yeah, we can end
Thank
here.
you. Bye.
Yes, okay. Thank you, sir.